Hello everyone, this is Deej with another deck tech for you. I'm doing Angel of Despair. Bit of a crowd favorite, loved it the first time I saw it. It fits a few of my categories of things I really love in Commanders. First of all, it's one of my favorite, if not my single favorite color combination, which is black-white. I think black is a really good standalone color in PDH. It's a really great supporting color as well. Feel the same way about white. I think they complement each other well. Another category is rares that are downshifted to uncommons. And the third category is commanders that do something that also are pseudo commander damage, because you can just do your thing and slowly but surely turn it sideways enough times to kill people with commander damage. So let's just go ahead and hop right into it. It's pretty straightforward. The ratios are about 1/3 mana acceleration, 1/3 draw and card advantage, and 1/3 triggering and re-triggering Angel of Despair's ETB, which is when she enters the battlefield, destroy target permanent. So I can cast her on turn 7, or once I have 7 mana, sorcery speed to destroy something. A lot of my tricks enable me to do her instant speed. So if anyone's threatening me, I can just say, hey, if you do that, I'm going to do this way. I'm going to destroy your things one way or another. Eventually they have to say, well, I need to stop you. But if they don't, you eventually just turn her sideways enough times to kill them. So when it comes to mana acceleration, we have a very clear plan. Let's play at least 2 mana rocks so that we can get to the 7 mana cost in a reasonable fashion. So we have a handful of 2 mana cost mana rocks. Orzhov's Signet, there's really not much explanation that needs to go on here. There's not much thought that went into it. These are just mana rocks that cost 2 mana. Star Compass, Felwar Stone, Thought Vessel, Fractured Power Stone. There is one more. Arcane Signet recently came out. I have not edited this deck since that came out. That would definitely be an inclusion in here, because hitting the 2 different colors is very important. Next category of rocks is 3 mana rocks. Araska Relic and Pristine Talismans, favorites in the PDH Pals deck lists. Commander Sphere, an insanely good card, especially in 2 or more color decks. Orzhov Cluestone, the better version, Orzhov Locket, and Wayfarer's Bauble, which is functionally a 3 mana rock. In plenty of situations, it's a 2 mana rock, either or. The last category are the 4 mana accelerants. The big ones everyone knows, Sisei's and Urgolem's Eye. The slightly worse, but has some synergies in the deck, Cartographer. It doesn't really matter that you're getting +2 mana from these. You just need to play 2 rocks to get Angel of Despair out in a timely fashion. So you're happy to play this, and then next turn play your Angel of Despair. And the last mana acceleration is Kozilek's Channeler. It's just a creature that taps for 2 mana. It's also just a standalone great creature. So to pair up with all this mana acceleration, you're spending all your lands. You're spending every turn dropping lands, spending that mana to empty your hand by using mana acceleration. You want to refill your hand. Though the real benefit of black, and the mana base is about 2/3 swamps, 1/3 plains when it comes to the colors and ratios. But I run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 draw 2s. They all say in one way or another, pay mana, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. So that's the plan. If I don't have the mana rocks, I go ahead and draw them. If I empty them all and I play my commander, these are really great to keep me going. So that's the draw package. We have a few more draw cards in the form of creatures. These are more replacement than actual draw, where they're just blockers. You just cycle them, but the cycle costs life and you have blockers, so it bides time. They're also nice because part of the synergies you have for recurring Angel of Despair apply to creatures like this. So if you wanted, you could use one of those as also draw effects if you're looking for something specific. Doesn't happen too often. The 2 souped up versions of replacements, which are the Monarch effects. The best one is Thorn of the Black Rose because it's Death Touch, so when it blocks, it also kills a creature. Palace Sentinels is also insanely good. 4 toughness. It's just another creature that floats and draws you cards. That's it for the draw package. Oh, that's not true. We have a few. Oh, the biggest one. I almost overlooked it. Siphon Mind. It's maybe one of the most powerful cards in the format. the best black draw card. There's a few other draw cards that are very, very powerful in blue. But this one's nice because it slows down your opponents. They each discard a card, and in most cases you draw 3. Very, very good. These I put in the category of draw because they do draw cards. Nihil Spellbomb and Relic of Progenitus. It's just nice to have grave control and with no downside. So I'm happy to just cycle through my deck and draw what I need. For it to also blow up your graves, or if I want to take it a little bit slower and threaten your graves, that's also good too. So that's it for the draw. Some of these other cards also draw, but they serve other functions, so I put them in other categories. So here's the main third category. We have flicker effects. So when these cards target my commander once it's already in play, I'm able to, in the case of the instance, flicker my commander at instant speed so that if somebody threatens to kill her, not only can I protect her, but she'll come back into play and destroy a permanent. Ordinary Pony does it sorcery speed, where I'm able to just play Ordinary Pony, and again, it's a creature. So I have these other things. If I wanted, I could also recur Ordinary Pony instead of Angel of Despair. It's the same thing. So those are the only flickers I run. Ephemerate's nice because it double hits the next turn. After that, we have cards that bring my commander back when it dies. So Antler Skulkin and Angelic Renewal are permanents that when my commander dies, this one you have to spend mana to give it persist, but these are chilling on the board. It's open information. So if there's any way for me to kill Angel of Despair, I'll, we can go ahead and talk about this now. I've run a few sack outlets. These are the big 3. There is a 4th, which is not always used for this effect, but the Mirror House Guard. These all just say sacrifice a creature for some benefit. I'll get back to the Mirror House Guard later, but Dark Privilege pulls double duty. It helps protect my commander if that's what I want to do. Namely, I don't want to protect my commander. I usually just want to sack it. But in a lot of situations, I'll enchant my commander with Dark Privilege to hit that magic number. Angel of Despair has 5 power. If I can get it 6 power, that means it'll take me 4 hits to kill someone with commander damage instead of 5. Because you need 21 commander damage to kill someone. So just getting 1 more commander damage is huge. Actually getting 2 more commander damage is huge because you only need 3 hits. So I run more than just this as ways to efficiently give Angel of Despair +1/+1. That is not the main strategy, so I want every card that pumps Angel of Despair to pull double duty. Ashnod's Altar, one of the best sack outlets in the format, and Fanatical Devotion, which has never let me down. You can use this politically. You can sack your stuff to protect someone else's something and destroy another player's once you have effects, like Antler Skulkin or Angelic Renewal. So having instant speed sack outlets is incredibly powerful. We do have more effects like this. These are the open information. The rest are instants. So we have Supernational Stamina and Abnormal Endurance. They are almost exactly the same card. You pump up the creature, and when it dies, it comes back into the battlefield tapped. But yeah, you're just shooting stuff down. You don't really care. So being able to sack things at instant speed and then buff my commander, which is a cool side note of this deck. I don't actually run any single target removal in this deck because my commander is single target removal. So everything else is more of an enabler for my strategy. And these two say, when the creature dies, it comes back without the downsides of being tapped. This one says it comes into play with a +1/+1. So Undying Evil is extremely powerful. So those are the ones that, at instant speed, when my commander dies, she comes back. At sorcery speed, I have 2 legitimate reanimators, which there are actually 3 functional reprints. There's, they all just say pay 4 mana to return target creature from your graveyard to play. So I will intentionally put Angel of Despair in my graveyard in a lot of these situations. So that's another reason why it's really nice to have Grave Bomb. Sometimes I'll target myself. The last and most consistent suite of cards are the Auras. So these are really great because they pull double duty again. If I have other ways to get my commander, or if I'm using filler turns up until the point I can cast my commander, I can actually enchant all of them but Kaya's Ghost Form. You can put on an opponent's creature. And if I destroy my opponent's creature, when it dies and goes to the grave, the creature comes back into play on my side of the field. So I can use this as a card to steal other people's creatures, which is incredibly useful. Kai's Ghost Form is only for your creature, but it only costs 1 mana, and it also works if it's exiled. So that's nice. These are really, really great because, yeah, the ratios are meant to be like mana acceleration, card draw, or flicker effects, or just recursion for my commander in general. So it's really, really nice that there's any auras that accomplish that feat, because I run these 2 tutors that search for auras. Every single time I'll search for these. It is a nice extra benefit that one of my sack outlets happens to be an aura. The one I just showed you guys. Dark Privilege. So I'm able to search for this too. So the clock, +1/+1, but also the sack outlet, it's extremely nice to be flexible with that. But almost always I'm searching for these with one of these guys. So that's it for the recursion of my commander. When it comes to the subcategory of giving my creature, my commander, incremental stat gains, I figured these were the best, because in a lot of cases I'm sacking my commander, or at sorcery speed reanimating him. It's nice to spend the 1 extra mana, just go ahead and give it haste. So I decided Strider Harness was good enough to go in here, even though it doesn't really pull double duty, just to apply pressure. So it's functionally a burn spell in this deck. But yeah, it also gives +1/+1, so it shortens the clock by a turn. And then Dragon Scales, which never goes away. Giving my commander Vigilance is also nice because it's a flyer, so it's evasive, but being able to block with it as well, that's extra value. That's extra hoops that people have to jump through if they want to threaten you. So we have a few tutors. I already showed you guys one, Dimir Houseguard. Again, this serves double duty as a sack outlet, but they're all just transmute cards. You're going to search for things like Siphon Mine to draw 3, or the ever fun to tutor for Pestilence, which is a board wipe. I don't really care about the board. I'm happy to sacrifice my commander. So if I have 8 or 9 mana to dump into Pestilence, I'm happy to do it. And that's another reason why I lean so hard into black mana. Might as well segue into it. We have Evankar's Justice and Crypt Rats. They're just really great board wipes for the format. Crypt Rats is another incredible mana sink for black mana. So they're just board wipes. Evankar's is good because we have such a big mana play that in a lot of cases you'll just buy it back, and if you want you can hard cast it again, or maybe even buy it back twice in 1 turn to do damage to everyone, which is really nice. The 5 mana tutor, you almost always just get Grey Merchant. There are other targets, but this is such a powerhouse of a card. And again, you have so much flicker, so much reanimate. You're happy to tutor for this, and if your win condition of destroying things or winning with commander damage doesn't seem like the play, then you just burn everyone down, or just do it to heal some. It's just an incredible card. We've seen the power over and over again in PDH with PDH Pal's stream. So we have a few cards here that I didn't actually have a good category for, so I figured I'll just go ahead and show them a standalone. Liliana's Shade is a card I just love so much. You can dump all your black mana into damage, but at the very least, you know, she counts as Black Devotion, which is nice, but she just gives you a swamp. So if you're missing your land drops, she's kind of like filler. She's card advantage. She replaces herself and has some inevitability to her. Felden's Cane is really great because, again, you're vulnerable to grave bombs, so it's nice to reload in the late game if you're getting milled, or yeah, just to protect your cards. If Angel Despair ends up getting stuck in your graveyard for some reason and nobody wants to exile your grave, you can always just Felden yourself too, which is a weird niche scenario. Other than that, we can just go right into the lands and call it a day. So Bojuka Bog's a really good staple in black. Huge fan. We have a handful. I don't know if I actually run every tap dual land, but I do have 3, which seems like all of them. This one gains you life. You know, we want as little to do with white mana as possible because we only need the 2 white mana for Angel Despair. So anything that pulls double duty and taps for 2 colors, we're all about it. That's why our mana rocks tap the way they do. Opal same way, taps for any color. And it's really nice for the same strategy where if I just want to hard cast my commander, one of the really great things about this deck is if I'm just going so wide with mana and I don't have anything other than a sack outlet, I'm able to just keep on casting my commander for 7, 9, 11 mana, however it goes. And if I'm in a situation where that's the play and I'm just slowly but surely recasting my commander, giving my commander +1/+1s for every time it's been cast from the command zone, that hits that inevitability clock that is my game plan. So this is incredible in this deck. Haunted Fengraf. It's a random creature from my graveyard, but I actually don't run that many creatures, and everything pulls its weight. So yeah, it's a way for me to turn excess mana into other things I need. Either more mana to replace itself, I'm just trying to dirtle, or card draw, or big plays like Grey Merchant, or in some rare cases, putting Angel Despair back in my command zone. Command Tower, double duty. We have what my favorite, the Bounce Lands. Same thing, it helps round out your plays. Seraph of Sanctuary is actually really, really nice. I think this is the only colorless land other than Haunted Fengraf. It's really nice because you gain 1 life, but you also gain life every time you flick your commander. So it's just nice to get that incremental value. Beyond that, we just run a healthy amount of swamps and plains. Like I said, there's about 2-to-1 swamps to plains ratio, and that's about it. It's a very straightforward deck with a very clear game plan, and that's it. Thanks for listening, guys. That's it. Angel Despair from PDH Deej. Talk to you guys next time.